Hey, welcome to Team Angie. I'm team member Aaron Glenn, a private personal consultant. Here to put some positive vibes on your timeline. And also get on subject with the title about the dangers of following the crowd. How to have confidence and courage to be authentic, true to who you are and what your beliefs are, and who you desire to be in life. First, before I get into that, I'd like to put some positive vibes on your timeline by reading from my inspirational book called Jesus Calling, Enjoying Peace in His Presence by Sarah Young. Today is August 15th, 2028. 2028, wow. Ahead of my time, 3 years. I wonder what's waiting on me then. But nevertheless, oh yeah, this XRP, I've been really keeping an eye on that. If you know how to analyze some things, you know how to predict some stuff and so forth and so on. We'll get into that in just a bit. But nevertheless, today, the actual day is August 15th, 2025. And today's reading is this: I am the God of all time and all that is. Seek me not only in the morning quietness, but constantly throughout the day. Do not let the unexpected problems distract you from my presence. Instead, with the talk to me about every and anything, and watch confidently to see what I will do. Adversity need not interrupt your communion with me. When things go wrong, you tend to react as if you're being punished. Instead of this negative response, try to view difficulties as a blessing in disguise. Make me your refuge by pouring out your heart to me, trusting in me in all times. Psalm chapter 55, verse 17. Also the book of Psalms, chapter 32, verse 6. And again from the book of Psalms, chapter 62, verse 8. It's a powerful reading for today. We all have times where we worried about our life, our direction, the lack thereof. It's hard times we're living in. Despite what people may show you online, the lavish lifestyles, the people who's flourishing with ease, God has a different plan for them, a different path for them. And He blessed them with endurance and also the energy to carry on their mission. We all woke up this morning, which is the first lesson that we all have to be appreciative of. We all get the same 24 hours a day. It's what you do with your time. Everybody has a lucky day, but not everybody shows up to it. It's not about focusing on someone else's journey, trying to compete with them to experience their experiences, because whether you have the same situation, you won't experience it the same. It's called a vantage point. The way that they look at life may not be the same way that you're looking at life. The way that they see success may not even be what you think success is. You might, you know, comparing yourself to people that you don't really even know, throwing yourself off of your own path. And that's a form of worrying. You're worried about trying to compete with somebody because you're worried about lack and you're worried about basically being confident. You don't have any self assurance. So that'll give you some type of fulfillment, which nevertheless, at the end of the day, you'll be finding somebody else to be like and to compete like. So it's a waste of time, a waste of energy. And it's not a form of authenticity. A lot of people like to join different groups, communities, because we all like to feel a part of something, which is not a bad thing at all. The only thing about it is to be mindful of who you are following and where they are headed. A lot of this YNs, this whole little, slogan, logo term, the whole day and era we're in. They like to push the narrative of this YN, but every generation has younger folks who just misguided, misled by the older folks. And to watch these people lose their positions, to watch them throw their life away is really sad. And I just want to give you guys a clear example of following the wrong people, trying to fit in with people, and the dangers thereof. Check out this short, quick clip, and then after that, I'm gonna show you another thing. For all those people chasing clout, a viral moment, whatever it may be. Be mindful of that. I know you guys seen the viral clip going on about the guy in Chicago. Just on his phone, he's a producer or something like that. I don't know personally. From what I'm hearing, it just happened this past Wednesday. He was in the car on the phone live, I think on Facebook or some social media platform, He was just venting, expressing his frustrations of a situation he encountered earlier that day. Someone synced him or whatever. I don't know the case. There's a lot of stories going on, but nevertheless, he tragically lost his life over some jewelry that he shouldn't have to even worry about going out to, protect himself to wear. But nevertheless, that person was caught, and I'll show you guys what happened with that situation. So nothing's never unnoticed. We're in a time and age where everything's on camera. Everybody's looking for a viral moment. Somebody's always recording. It's just live righteous. You won't have to worry about the things that come with, consequences, because it's the laws of the universe. What you dish out, you get back. Nothing goes unjust. But check this out and watch these youngest and watch the oldest. And just look how people just carelessly let people do senseless things. Rest in peace to those who lost their lives. And for those of you who are transitioning to your consequences, it's sad all the way around. But nevertheless, check this out. And hopefully you guys get something from this and just be confident and courageous enough to be who you are without trying to fit in, because you never know where someone is headed or where they want to be. But nevertheless, you will be exactly where they are, following behind them. So, consequences or worse.
Juju, Clem, Jim Miller for real. And get on that car and come back. We still.
Nah, y'all good. Y'all gonna keep talking. They good. They good. God said.
I need playing. Stop playing.
Man, look, Cam, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. You really gotta worry about it, man.
Really
Everybody,
good.
youngins got there right now. They good.
Got
One way in, one way out.
Y'all ain't get nobody.
Probably didn't get to check it out right away because the little stuff that's going on and whatnot. So I'm gonna run it right back. But just one moment. So you see the three guys right here, right? Kind of weird because I'm facing forward and the stuff is actually right here, but I have to point the opposite way, just like in a basketball game. When you watching the game or but on the TV screen, they're actually going the other way. Football, baseball, it's all the same thing. Then boxing matches. And I like to go to live events. I don't really watch sports on TV. But anyway, there's these. Let me see. It's three, four, five, about seven guys, older guys. They're vlogging, doing a podcast or whatever, right? They recording for social media, so that's what's really going on. They doing what they do. I guess this is what they do on a daily basis. The youngest out there, I guess they look out the window, they see the OGs outside, the older guys out there doing what they do, right? So I guess they look at it like, oh, okay, they on the internet. This is a chance for us to go viral. This is a chance for us to, get some attention. So what happened was, in case, and I'm gonna run it right back, but just to catch you up, they in the projects, right? And you know how it is when you're in the streets or you out there. And if you don't know, this is a prime example when you out there in the streets, the projects, the hood, you know, trapping it out. What comes with that is a lot of envy, a lot of jealousy, a lot of people befriend you, and it's like it's a really dangerous world to be living in. To be honest, you're always watching over your back. barely trusting people, and you're paying people off so them they can shut up, keep them out your business, and just to keep the police off your ass because you're doing wrong anyway. But it is what it is. So I call it trapping, right? You put yourself in the trap, and hopefully you can capitalize out of dipping in and out the trap, whatever. So, like I said, as far as safety, it's not safe. So a lot of people usually be looking at the cars that come by, trying to see if it's somebody want to come do a hit, or if they don't know what's going on. But nevertheless, yeah, let's check this out, and I'm gonna run it right back so you can see what's going on, and you get a real understanding of like these older guys and the way that they think. Nothing wrong with blogging and out kicking it. You do what you do. They're not causing any harm. They're just gathering. There's nothing wrong with that. But like they say, the YNs are just people, period, that want to be presented as an image. They want to look tough. They want to look cool. They want to do whatever the fuck that catching some attention, right? So you be the judge and let me know what you think was going on, and what's the situation really about.
Man. I don't know what you're talking about. Nah, for real.
All nah, y'all good. Y'all gonna keep talking. Hey, good. I got that. Hey, good. Got that.
Man, I gotta get up close anyway. I'm out here with ODB. I'm out here with ODB. Need them just to slow down there. Hey, just slow down. Here I come. I'll be there in a minute. Go that way. Go that way.
Oh, and cameraman not playing. Stop playing. Man, look, cameraman, I ain't gonna lie to you. What you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
They out there. Out there, they kicking it. They pick up on who is this car rolling past. Like I was saying, they all on alert. They watching around. And as you heard one of them say, it's one way in, one way out. So I guess the layout of the land where they stand at is like a cul-de-sac. You can come in, do a swerve, a circle, and come back out. And where they is, they may be like at the edge of that corner or that circle or whatever, in one of those edges. Because it seemed like when that car came in, they probably did a little circle around, then went back out. I don't know. But when they say there's one way in, one way out, then he's like, you ain't hit nobody. And he's like, go that way. Because basically, don't come back around this camera because we recording. We seen y'all go walk past, and you on camera just doing something dumb, right? And they like, oh, we ain't seen nothing, trying to play it off. But he want to know, like, y'all vlogging, y'all caught that for some attention. And then the other guy's like, look at this guy right here with the black. He looking like, man, why the fuck am I over here? You know what I'm saying? Like now he got a realization, like, I don't think I need to be around these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Then the one right there sitting down with the arms crossed, he like, Man, we in trouble. You know what I'm saying? They look worried, and they should be. You know, because they was like, oh, they got that. They basically know they finna go. And I seen another dude with a gun too. He was by the stairway with the white T-shirt on. He had his behind his back, standing right there next to the dude with the camera. And then I guess he getting ready to go take action as well. So he could be a send off to the younger one. He out there with his gun in his hand, and they like, oh, yeah, y'all get on that car, or they got it, or something like that. So basically, it would have been him and the other three that just left. Which I was saying, like, there's no guidance at all. Yeah. There was two people indicted. Like I was saying, like you can see like the apartments going around in something like a circle, kind of looping around. So I'm guessing it's like a big S, a circle or whatever, right? It's kind of like a little maze circling around and shit. But at one point you can come in, circle around and get back out. But it's different little loops through that circle. But nevertheless, it's like woods all around. So you could come in, go through the loops of the circle, but still get back out to the main road. So I'm guessing it's like one long stretch, a little layout, a little maze through it. You really ain't got no other way out but to go back through that main road. And you see what they doing, right? They just for clout, for fame, for all of the wrong reasons. They just want some attention. And look how they living life. You know what I'm saying? No guidance, no nothing, just lost, no direction. And the people that are around, similar. Look what they glorify though. Thing they doing is cool. They glorifying drugs, like I just showed you how the drugs be taking the youngers out, even the older cats. And people don't pay attention to mental health awareness. Instead of dealing with shit mentally, they rather go, pick up a vice and let that be the way out. Guns, I understand protecting yourself, but just to be out here pressing an issue, looking for an issue, you're gonna find it. It's part of your DNA. The stuff that you glorify, that you spend time thinking about all day, it becomes who you are. You see, these people are a product of what they think about. Young drug addict, young killer, young hustler, young, you know what I'm saying? Like young drug dealer. It's all lead up to death or prison. Like, you heard it plenty of times before, but for somebody to show them something different, like what I do, digital marketing, everybody like, oh, that's lame, whatever, right? But it's keeping me out the way. Also, I'm creating my own lane. Not to say what everybody else do is nothing wrong with it. It's just you have options out there. I'm showing people it's a different way, and I'm pretty sure that they was at least trying to do some, at least some of them. Everybody ain't gonna be with your mission. Everybody ain't gonna see your vision. Whoever was vlogging, I'm pretty sure that was their vision and their way out of their situation. And you got to work your situation, and they gonna work itself. So you got to constantly go vlog. But the thing about it is, I'm not sure what they talk about. I'm not sure what they discuss. I'm pretty sure it's not anything that's enlightening, that's going to illuminate their path from the dark path that they're already on. So it's like the blind leading the blind, and I say that a lot. Like, it look cool, it look nice, it's flash the lights, but at the end of the day, these are things people are chasing because they're empty inside. They're being blinded by someone else who's just out here looking for a little attention, so they make whatever they have going on look nice, with the flashy lights, the jewelry, whatever, right? They make it look cool, just like these rappers, these entertainers. They get on here, they say they're Muslim, they're Christian, but everything that come out their mouth is about killing, you know, derogatory words about females and males. A lot of stuff that's really not uplifting spiritually. And it's like I hear what you say and I see what you do, and it's not really adding up. And then, of course, these people live private lives. You don't really know what motivates them to do what they do. But it's just like, wow, we're living in a lost culture. This whole YN stuff, they're making it seem cool. It's propaganda. In my generation, it was, I forgot what they called it, young dummies or whatever, right? I don't know. The shit changed up so much and so quick, just like aura. Everybody want to use the word aura and diabolical. Like, what the fuck? This shit not new, but this is what they're doing nowadays. Like they used to use lame and whack and all this type of stuff, right? It's just the new propaganda of what seems to be cool and which way to go and what lights to shine and how to go fuck up your life if you don't have any direction. And if you're following behind the wrong people who don't even care about themselves, as you can see, like this is what they talk about, this is what they glorify, and obviously it's not much to come from that. It's a dead end road. Like they don't play no commercial when I watch, but when I hear they he look like he got his ass beat already, Mr. Jaden. They like, oh, y'all done shut up my daughter or whatever. And then look at Mr. Lonnie. It looked like he got battered up a little bit, like on the forehead. Somebody punched him up, and this whole side kind of red. This looked like it been punched. Two was indicted initially, right? But the third one, they got him wrapped up in it because he was with the new accessory. The two on the left and right, they look like they got touched. Just to be honest, you know what I'm saying? The one in the middle, he just lost. He don't have any. Look how dark those eyes are, like soulless. You know what I'm saying? Like it's wow. Mental health awareness is really dope. I'm not sure they have even heard these terms, but it's like it takes somebody to be different, to change the narrative to help save somebody. Because lose your life so young like this over senseless things and to be glorifying some nonsense just because you're older in life doesn't mean your mind is older, that you're mature mentally and you can be in your second childhood, you know. Even the older guys that they're around, look what they doing. Look how they just, you know, what if these were their kids? They probably wouldn't give a fuck. If it was, somebody would be like, hey, you know, we already in a fucked up environment. Let's just try to make it as peaceful and as safe as we can, right? Nobody think about that. Nobody care about that. He the one with the gun I was talking about. You can see it. Him right here, he got the gun in his hand behind his back. And he was gonna go out with the young kids, so I'm pretty sure he helped sending them off. This guy right here, he's concerned. He like, man, you know, I can't control these. And sometimes it's like that. Like what I was saying, sometimes your environment can be holding you back. He's probably one of those ones. His environment is holding him back, but he's stuck where he's at for the moment. Participating in the blog, hopefully that he can come up and change the situation, you know, because he's the first one to say y'all ain't, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all ain't did nothing. Basically, I'm just watching all the nonsense going around me, and I'm trying to do my part in making it better, you know, because it takes more than one person, but it just takes one person to get started. But that doesn't mean that they can do it alone. Jesus himself came down as God in human form, but he had 12 niggas helping him out just to show that you can't do things alone. Motherfuckers was by his side on the same mission, you know what I'm saying? Even one nigga crossed him. But that's life. Not everybody rolling with you. And unfortunately, you know, sometimes that's what it is. You're around a bunch of nonsense and you just have to endure it, you know? That's why I like starting off my sessions with this book because all these people are worried about protection. They're worried about money. That's why they're selling drugs. But nobody's worried about getting to know their creator and allowing their creator to create a situation for them to prosper, you know, create a lifestyle that they actually desire and to be able to walk in line with their purpose. I spend time getting to know my creator. My creator spent time revealing himself to me. And it's important to know yourself. Spend time getting to know yourself. The world will tell you who you are and who you're not. You know, they're telling the men that you little bitches go put on girl clothes, go paint your nails, go do all this feminine shit, right? And it's cool, bitch ass Obama. He don't represent me. He came as a black guy just like these black guys, and they want to come give you the bullshit that leads you to the blind, right? And no disrespect on those of you who practice homosexuality or whatever the case may be, whatever y'all want to, you know what I'm saying, label this shit now. It's no disrespect at all. But I'm going to say what I got to say, and it's like, you know, for you to be misguided, not you as that community, but an individual who be out here watching kids play with guns and, you know, a lot of senseless stuff like the blind leading the blind. Obama was blind, trying to lead us to blind. The presidents, you got to be mindful, you know, who you follow behind. Just because these are the people in position doesn't mean that I'm going to follow their lifestyle. I'm going to follow their lead. I'm leading myself, bar none. And it's basically about being aware, having discernment, and not entertaining no bullshit like this. You know, when you see it happening, get up out the way. Be safe, you know, be mindful of the potential because birds of a feather flock together and uh you are who you hang around, you know. Now if they was decide to retaliate, all these people that's hanging together, they all in danger again, you know. They was almost in danger of getting their life took by the police because you're around people who's committing crimes. You didn't call the police, and that's called party to a crime. I had that before, you know. It's a serious thing. It's a real thing, especially in the state of Wisconsin. They'll lock your ass up if you witness a crime and you don't report that crime. You're just as guilty. And that's the truth. Like, this is the image, this is what they glorify, and everything ain't always what everybody say. They say live by the gun, die by the gun. You think that little girl out here playing with guns and that, she deserved that fate? I said this yesterday because I was watching this yesterday, but I didn't reveal what I saw. But where I heard it from was this. She ain't out here playing with guns. She trying to go probably see her mom or her dad or whoever the fuck stayed in the project, trying to provide for their kids. And now that they're gone, because of the senseless bullshit that be going on around, and everybody's just so wrapped up in it just for entertainment, right? Not all entertainment is good entertainment, especially when someone's getting hurt and losing their lives. That's ridiculous. And for these three to be wrapped up in the glamour and the limelight, their life gone as well. Ain't no telling what they're finna endure now as far as the consequence in, because what you give, you receive, and you open those doors for that. So, it is what it is. Somebody should have been telling them about consequences, certain things that come with certain things. Because nevertheless, like, it is what it is, right? You might get away, like they were saying, you might get away for some time, but everything catches up. Everything comes to light at some point in time. For those older guys, there's a wake up call for them as well. Luckily, they ain't going down with these three, but they're just as guilty, in my opinion. Yeah, that's wild though, ain't it, man? Like, that's what's going on out here. And for the other shooter, I'm gonna show y'all what happened with him. Of course, he had fun. You took somebody's chain. This man right here. Now look how he looking. Y'all see about. $60. We don't want to watch. I promise you, I ain't have no fucking interruptions when I just checked this out the other day. Plus, I got this opiate clip going on. The video I made, but that shit whack on. Fuck opiate clip, y'all. Like, there's other things you can use if you want to make shorts and reels out of your videos, and I'll put the link in the description. But nevertheless, yeah, it's running my computer slow and different little stuff like you know what I'm saying, like clip chat, all this different little shit, man. But yeah, he just showing love, and he definitely right. You know, he within his perfect rights to express how he feel, and you just bring your money to people's buildings. Of course, if they had the option, they go buy a building and use it as that. But once these buildings are built, people get them up really quick, and people buy up the land really quick and put whatever they want on it. So it's not a issue of where to have an event. It's the issue of the people charging your people too much. You know, I'm trying to do business with you now. You charging all my people who come. You know, treat my people right. Like if you treat me, they're an extension of me, and that's what really talking about. Is what he's getting at. He's like, y'all, I'm bringing people to your fucking club, and you want to charge my people a whole lot and trip and all this and that. So he's expressing his grievance about that. Like, you know, I don't promote, not myself, but I'm talking about him. He don't promote. I'm speaking as him in third person. I don't promote, but the things that I do, though, I'm bringing people in and I'm bringing money to you. So show us some love is basically what he's saying and what I'm getting from it. And yeah, that's just my take on it. lies either. No lies is being said. Like me as a black business owner as well, and I don't consider myself black, but it is what it is, right? I'm a human being, a man at that, first and foremost. Colors and all that other shit come next, labels or whatever, right? Which is labels, but how I identify myself as a man, as a male, I don't look at people like, oh, because you black, I'm finna shop with you. Because he's right. A lot of motherfuckers like, oh, just because I got it, I'm finna tax it. And some stuff be really good. I ain't gonna cap. But then again, it's like with the black folks, they do too much, charge too much sometimes, and it just be messy, right? Like, that's the culture. It is what it is. And not everybody with that shit, right? Not everybody agree with how they run the business, but you run your stuff how you want to run it. But if you want continuous customers, repeating customers, you want to treat people right. And that's basically all he's saying. And a lot of people feel the type of way because it's the truth. The truth isn't always easily accepted, no matter who it's coming from. People will just be like, oh, whatever, shut up, I don't want to hear that shit. Until it's their situation, now they want somebody to have sympathy and hear what they're saying. But it's like, come on, man. Just do good business, right? Even exchange ain't a robbery. You give me what I'm asking for, I give you what you asking for. We should be straight, right? It should be an even exchange. I shouldn't feel like I'm overcharged or treated any kind of way because I'm trying to fuck with you. I had a situation like this a few years ago with my sisters. We up in a little bar or whatever here in Michigan. Next thing I know, we in there, we getting drinks, we chilling. I'm sitting at the table with my sisters or whatever. I see two of my sisters. Well, I see a dude in one of my sister's face and another dude. I mean, my other sister, she was like kind of cussing them out or whatever. So I get up, I go over there. I'm like, what the fuck going on? He, this is an owner. A problem with the owners. Y'all came in through the back door. Y'all ain't paid to get in, but it's a smoke session in the back. Like if you go out the back, it's a gate, and then you inside the gate, you out there smoking, chilling, whatever, right? So I'm like, what the fuck you mean we ain't pay to get in? We ain't here spending money and shit. And if he talk about show me some ID, then I'm like, I'm pissed at this point because I'm like, if you want to see ID, you should have had your bitch ass at the door. You could have seen every fucking ID that came through this bitch. You know what I'm saying? You would have seen our ID when we came in showing our ID. So I'm like, I'm on his ass now because he kind of pissing me off, especially you and my sister face talking about some we ain't paid to get in. Like, get the fuck on. And especially we spending money in this bitch, spending money on drinks, food, whatever, right? Playing a little pool table and shit. But instead of being like, oh, okay, you right, I should have been at the door checking the door, or I could go run the camera back and see that y'all came through the door. You know what I'm saying? I could have told you what time we came in. But instead of being a fair business owner, he got security coming up, and I'm like, what is y'all finna do? Because if you get any more closer, I'm finna start swinging on motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not threatened, but this is what I'm finna do. And I'm just paying attention, like, all right, come on. Because now I'm finna fuck some up. And it's just about respect, right? Like, don't come up to me because you the owner. Oh, let me see. Dude, get the fuck out of my face. If you want to see ID, you should have your ass at the door. Now, don't come to me with that I'm the owner shit because I'll fuck you up, which I did. But it's just like, be respectful when you won't get what you got coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't the one to play that shit. I don't play with people. I treat people right, but when you want to get treated wrong, I definitely won't mind doing something to your ass, straight up. Be respectful, be mindful. You know what I'm saying? Don't play that shit because everybody don't be out here playing with motherfuckers. It's just being honest, right? Be mindful who you playing with because motherfuckers won't play with your ass. Especially being a business owner, they don't give you the right to try to treat anybody any kind of way. Just treat people right how you want to be treated. Especially if you want a motherfucker to come shop with you. But let's get back into it. It's almost over with. We almost done. If this a play, like it be, man, this shit wild. I could barely get the motherfucker to work from time to time. That shit be tweaking. But nevertheless, what's gonna happen is they gonna I'm pretty sure y'all seen what happened. He gonna start getting a little bit too more into them blocking them in because it's finna go down, and they gonna show the police come, take over the scene or whatnot. I guess it ain't meant for the show that, but nevertheless, this is gonna happen, and they're gonna show the guy who did it. I'm not sure if he was with any other people or he just solo on some bullshit. I don't know. But I'm gonna try to get it to run and then run it back or just you know I really don't know what I'll do at this point because I have no control over the situation. They act like they want to play and they don't and they ain't reacting to me pushing play. I don't know, man. For real. It's gonna happen. He got the clutch in his teeth because he got nerves and they seem I guess they upped the gun on him as soon as they came to the door and trying to open the door up. Cause he like, oh, you know what I'm saying? He started clutching his teeth. He got one punch in though. When they pulled him, I mean, he really couldn't do nothing. That was the cousin just ran past. Why you ain't watching your people? He losing that battle. His life is slipping. They didn't get no response, and he just expressing how he feels. That's the cousin right there. So, I mean, that's wild, right? People like, oh, they just pulled up. They've been there. They've been knew where he was going to be at because he had a job going on. People studying the schedule. They talking to your friends, trying to befriend you to figure out where you're going to be, what you got going on, all that type of backdoor shit, right? And they know they doing the man wrong because why would you be waiting to go wait for him to say something? You know he's gonna say something because you know you doing him wrong. You know you out here on bullshit. People keep up that type of energy. It becomes their DNA. You out here treating people wrong, and you looking for some way to justify the bullshit you're doing. So when they say something about the bullshit you're doing, now all of a sudden you got another chance to go do wrong again, right? To justify the shit that you already done wrong. And it's crazy. And then, like I say, the danger of following up behind people. The guy that they sent off was a straight send off. Just like the little shorties in the video at first, right? They got it. Let them go and throw their life away. They'll do it. They want the fame and they want the attention. They want the glory, vain glory, right? Chasing after frivolous things for a viral moment, or because someone told you the truth about the nonsense that you're out here putting into the world. The world feeds off negativity. That was just something to feed off of. Dude locked up, and the people that still out here doing wrong, they still out here doing wrong. Still out here finding somebody else to go send off there. Take out somebody else who's speaking the truth. Same way they did Jesus. For those of you who courageous enough to speak the truth, live your truth. We all have a death date. Don't allow fear to take you out of your position from being authentic. When you're seeing injustice, speak on it, whether it costs you your life or not. I'm not telling you to throw your life away to be super bold and courageous. It's a time and a place for everything. Be mindful of how you approach someone, especially if they've done you wrong. And not only that, have someone else as a witness. This is the way that we're supposed to do it. It's the way that Christ says. If you have a grievance with your brother, whether it be blood or another person, you bring somebody with you, and y'all address that, and y'all have a conversation as a mediator to bring peace and to bring balance to that relationship if it's possible. Because solve a lot of things with simple conversations. Like he said, he was tagging them. They could have had a conversation. You sit there watching them. Why not hop on the live and be like, okay, let me defend myself? But instead, being emotional, unintelligent, allowing your ego to allow you to act impulsive. Your feelings hurt. Now you're ready to go act about it. It's very sad. And it's a mental case for people to be like that, to be hurt and to go hurt someone else. Hurt people hurt people. And misery loves company. You never know what misery looks like. They in the club having fun around a bunch of miserable motherfuckers. The owner, the managers, the bodyguards, security, everybody miserable than a motherfucker. And making the people coming in with joyous spirits become miserable as well. Treating them wrong, treating them like I was saying, like how they higher ups treat us, poisoning our food, our water, the air, just so we could be able to spend more money to be able to enjoy this world that was freely given to us that we came into, right? It's crazy as fuck, but just take one person to be different, to change the narrative, and eventually everybody will see the truth and start to follow suit. The world is steady changing and steady coming to an end. The frequencies, the vibes, it's all of a sudden going to be a stop. The world's tired, people's tired. It's just time for a change. And everything's going to amp up. It's going to get worse before it get better. A lot of things going on in the world, and this is just this week. The weekend hasn't even happened yet. Today is the first day of the weekend, and I'm pretty sure the devil's going to have a ball tonight until Sunday. We'll be hearing about something else happening, and somebody else who's looking for a viral moment, someone else hurting, ready to hurt someone else, and the cycle's non-stop. Cycle never ends. But if you're new to my channel, make sure you comment, subscribe, like this video, and share it to someone or YN that can help you change their life and their perspective on following the crowd. I just brought this video out for awareness and the dangers thereof to help you guys to have discernment when there's people out around you in your environment or wherever the case may be, and you have something in your heart telling you the things that these people are engaging in is not right. It's not for me. It's not me. Let me subtract myself from this. Just like the one boy, he ran with those two boys. He could have stayed where he was at, subtracted himself. Now he's spending the rest of his time in jail with those boys, which is crazy, right? You didn't even shoot nobody, but you're running around people who have no mind, have no compassion, have no patience, have no discernment. You at a potential danger. That doesn't mean you have to go shoot up the car. You could just watch it like the other guys did. They sat there and watched. Nothing happened to them. Nothing even happened to them when the guys that shot. You just ran up and you acted first out of fear. This I wish they could have heard this verse that I read today. From this book is basically would have been something the guy said. To not have no fear and to be able to call on the Lord courageously. The same way you call on your homeboys for the strap. Same way you call on these guys for the blogs. You know, you have to be courageous to ask for what you want in life and not to be out here suffering in silence and trying to figure this out and put yourself in a deadly situation, an unsafe situation, or just being able to take from somebody else because you don't have. It's not right. It's not cool. It's messed up, man. It's fucked up. But this is the world we live in, and you have to really be on your P's and Q's, keep your head on swivel, because everybody's always out here looking for a come up, which is crazy. And nobody looking for Christ. Nobody want to be Christ-like. Nobody want to really be accountable. Everybody want that fast way out, fast way out. Wow, man. I'm just telling y'all to be mindful. And if you see somebody out there misled or misguided, won't you be that light shining into their darkness so that they can see that there's another path available? But nevertheless, peace and sense. Aaron Glenn, team member of Team Angie, private personal consultant, also an advocate for mental health awareness. Check out my website. Drop your email in to get your free blueprint copy, and also to be a part of my newsletters where I drop daily blogs, talks with Team Angie Tuesdays and Thursdays to give you tips and tools and manage stress and anxiety. And peace and blessings for Team Angie. Happy Friday. And may this be a safe weekend. Keep your mind in a safe place. Entertain thoughts that's going to be helpful to your future, helpful to your well-being and your health, mental and physical health. Also, I got this little thing I was trying to check out. Hold on real quick. All right, this is it. Peace and blessings.